Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we do all things artsy fartsy. And in this video today, I'm super excited because I got an unexpected birthday gift in the mail today, and that is Pour Art paints. I'm super excited. I've never actually used one of these Pour Art kits before. I've always just used extra household paints that I found lying in the garage. So I'm really excited to give this a try. And I have some ideas of how we can incorporate other painting styles and techniques into the painting. So today is a first attempt video of Pour Art painting. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. So stick around, join me in my experiments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. Okay, so let's go over all our supplies really quick. We've got a few boards. I think we'll do 3 paintings in this video. And of course we have our gesso, which we use all the time. Pigments I found, I don't think we'll use these, but I put them out just in case we want to play around. A brush, cups for the Pour Art paint, Pour Art kit, a box, which is going to come in really handy so that we don't make a huge mess. Okay, are you guys ready to have some fun? Let's get started playing around with some Pour Art paintings. Okay, so I primed my boards here and I put a cup down in the middle of that box. I'll be putting the paintings on that cup so they can drip down and the box can collect the paint. And checking out our little kit here, it looks like we have an instruction book and some kind of inexpensive brushes here, along with some gloves, which are super handy. I'm always running out of gloves, and all of the paint. Look at all these colors. Neon purple. Wow, this is gonna be super fun. So I went through and picked out some colors that I liked and kind of grouped them together in front of the boards. So we have some warmer colors and some bluer colors. And now it says to put the white in first, so I did that. And I'm going to just go ahead and start putting the paint into one single cup. In this first attempt, we are going to be doing, I guess, the very basic pour technique of putting all your paints into one cup and then just gently pouring that cup over your painting. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of black in each corner and along the sides so that I make sure that the paint spills over the whole painting and onto the sides evenly. And now I'm just going to go ahead and gently pour my paint out from the cup. Look at that. That's kind of nice, right? Okay, so now the fun part is I get to pick it up and move it around a little and watch that paint flow. Well, this is really mesmerizing and very pretty. I've got this really cool marble effect going on here. I really like it. Okay, so I did drop in some Cell Magic on top because the Cell Magic I put in the paint apparently didn't work. There were no cells coming through. So I wanted to see what it would do, and it just kind of, I don't know, shows a few cells. They're not very exciting though, so I'm not sure if I did something wrong. I followed the instructions, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and just pour some more paint on top and get some more color into this thing. Look how cool this pink is. It's totally awesome. Love that pink. So I was looking over that little instruction book that came with the Pour Art kit, and I was reading about a few different techniques you can do to get different styles out of your Pour Art project here. So I think we're going to try one. I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, the Cell Magic thing didn't work, and I followed the instructions, so I don't know. If you guys have any tips, that would be great. Let me know down below. Okay, so it says to put a line of paint on one side, about an inch or so from the edge. I'll put a couple here. And then take a wet paper towel and drag it across. Honestly, I don't know if this is going to work. You know what? Worst case, it doesn't work and it's fine. Everything is fixable. And we'll just see what happens here. Okay, here we go. And oh my God, instantly this isn't going to work because the weight of the paper towel is too heavy. Well, shucks. That's okay. I can just pour more paint over it and start again. So I can see at least a few cells are starting to show up now, which is kind of cool. Okay, so you know what? I think with this first painting that I'm making, let's go ahead and see if we can't get an image on here. Let's take these little fine tipped bottles, fill them with pour paint, and pour out a picture. How about we do some abstract flowers? That sounds like fun, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze out just a few orange flowers here. I might put some stems and leaves in too to see what those look like. Okay, again, so I've never actually done this specifically. Every time I've ever done a pour art painting, which by the way, it's only been like 3 times in my life, it was very basic. And I just used some house paints and an old door that I had, and I just painted the door and it looks really cool and hung it on the wall. But I haven't actually attempted using the silicone oil or squeeze bottles to draw out a picture or anything. So this is totally new for me. I am having a lot of fun though. So hopefully the paintings turn out good and you guys are enjoying watching me make a mess here. And if you have any suggestions or tips, please let me know. Okay, so I'm just going to drop in some stems. I've mixed green with yellow. I thought that would be kind of a nice color combination for those. And I think I'll also try to squeeze out a few leaves while I'm at it. Like so. This is a lot of fun. Hopefully these don't spread out too much to the point where it just looks like a mess, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll take some toothpicks actually and spread it out and see what that does. Okay, so let's add some pink into the flower. I feel like they need more color. Let's just drop a little in here. Oh, that's kind of pretty, right? I like how it just blends right in. So let's go ahead and take a toothpick and just kind of push out the color a little and see how that looks. So these are kind of cool, right? They kind of look, I don't know, like melting poppies or LSD-induced petunias maybe? Okay, well, I think we're just about done with the first attempt here with the first painting. Let's see what kind of a mess we can make on the second one. Okay, so in this second attempt here, I was looking over the instruction manual and it said you can do an open cup technique. So I took a cup and I cut a hole at the bottom so it's open. We're going to be pouring all of our paint into that. It's sitting on top of the painting already. And so when all the paint's in, all we have to do is lift it off the painting and then move it around a little bit. So we'll see how this one turns out. Okay, already I can tell I'm going to need a little bit more paint in here. That's not quite enough. All right, well, this is kind of neato. Let's swirl it around. Ooh, I finally got some cells for once. That's cool. I don't really like what's going on in the middle there, but I don't know, maybe we can fix that. I think I'm going to take a spoon and just swirl this area a little bit to try to break it up a little. Okay, now I'm just really trying to get the edges to pour over here. I'm just going to splatter in some of this violet color too to break it up a little. All right, so this is kind of cool. I think I have an idea of what I want to go ahead and paint on top of it. So let's get started with that. I'm going to quickly splatter in some white for, I guess, stars. Could be snow. We'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. Okay, let's drop a mountain in. So I made sure that my mountain didn't come down too far on the painting because I wanted to leave that pour art that we did there. Okay, so how about we put some violet trees in? I think that would look kind of wild, you know, to match that little bit of violet that's in the painting. Okay, let's go ahead and drop a little bit of reflection down in the water here. If you guys haven't seen my previous video on how to paint a peachy morning mountain, I'll go ahead and drop that link somewhere on the screen or down below in the description. You could go check that out. Okay, and finally we're just going to take our palette knife with a little bit of white and scratch it right across to give the illusion of water ripples and a water line. Okay, so this turned out pretty rad, I think. I like this. Kind of wild, right? All right. Painting number 2 is just about complete. Let's get started on the third one. Okay, so in this one, we're going to be doing a bottle pour plus straw blow. And then to finish it off, I'm going to be doing what I did last week's video. In case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll drop the link below or on the screen somewhere, where we use cake decorating tips to make a painting. So I'm going to incorporate that into this one. I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. I want to leave it mostly white in the middle here and put the colors on the sides and blow the colors inward. And then we'll be doing the cake decorating tips in the middle. Okay, I'm in love. I love this. This is so much fun. I will probably do this technique again. Look at all those really awesome colors, sort of bleeding outward and creating these lovely veins towards the middle there. Oh, this is totally awesome. So that was pretty easy, and I just need to make sure that the edges here are covered. We don't want to leave our board exposed because it will look unfinished. So I'm just going to touch up here and there, and then we can move on to the next part. So how many of you guys out there have actually tried pour art? I'm just curious. Just drop a comment down below and let me know and what your thoughts on it were. Did you find it difficult? Did it look how you wanted it to? Did you have a problem with your cells like I did? Let me know. Okay, so we're almost done here. I'm just gonna go ahead and give a couple touch-ups and then move it around just a little bit to smooth it out. And then we can get on to the next fun part. Okay, so on to the fun part here. I'm just going to use this piping bag with the cake tip and pour out some white paint, just like I did in last week's video. In case you guys missed it and you want to learn how to do this a little more in depth, go ahead and check that video out. So I am going to be using several different tips. Right now I'm using the single hole vine tip. I also picked out a leaf tip, the same star tips that I used last week, and then I got an extra large star tip. I was hoping I could use that in here as well. Hopefully it won't be too messy. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to drop in a few drops now just for added detail and texture. I'm trying to incorporate a lot of different lines in this so that it gives it more interest and it's more fun to look at. And I apologize for the audio in this video. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not. Not just my dog walking in the background, but I have my heaters on full blast because we are experiencing an Arctic blast for the next few days, and it is absolutely freezing, and my house is working very, very hard to keep me warm. So now I'm using that little tiny star tip that we used last week. I really like this one. Super cute. It reminds me of something, and I can't figure out what it reminds me of. Does it remind you guys of anything? Maybe like mince or something? I don't know. I kind of almost have this urge to like put one in my mouth and eat it. Does anybody else feel that way? Okay, and now I'm using that larger star tip that looks like little star jasmine flowers, which I love. I have actually star jasmine flowers out in my yard. I think they're absolutely beautiful, and this totally reminds me of those. Okay, and now I'm using that gigantic star tip right now and putting in a few real big ones. Okay, and now it's time for my absolute favorite tip, the leaf tip. Oh, I love these leaves. They're so cool. I have so much fun doing this. I just plop them in everywhere. This is going to be fantastic. I think this looks pretty cool. It really does kind of look edible almost in a way. And like always, guys, I'll be sure to drop the links down below for all the supplies that I am using today, and they're all really affordable and available through Amazon. Okay, so we are just about done with painting number 3. I love this one. I had a lot of fun with all of them. Let me know which ones you guys thought were the coolest. I'd like to know which one you guys liked. Number 1, 2, or 3. Okay, guys, well, this concludes my little attempt at port art painting. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next week.